Whoops, hitting the wrong buttons again. I'm all hyped up this morning. Hello, everybody. If you want to improve your crowdfunding, this video is going to be a gold mine for you this week. Today, we've got a bunch of indie comics campaigns, some of them from experienced comic creators, some of them from brand new. Destiny will choose 3 of those for us to review. We're going to look at them. We're going to give feedback and stay to the end to see who will be chosen. Because in the end,
There can be only one.
There it is. Oh, how are you doing today, Smurf?
Excellent, because let's face it, comic books save lives. And we need better intro music because that doesn't rock my face off, okay? I want to be like pumped, and that melancholy music that starts off the show is just kind of in the waiting room is just kind of
oh, gotcha. Okay. So the countdown waiting room music.
Countdown music,
definitely
stuff.
We can definitely do that. Just remember, it's got to be license free, but I have some accounts with some license free music, so we can make a custom load one. It can even have like your face on it.
Oh. This face right here.
Right there. Yeah, that one. It could be kind of like that intro that Ray made for you.
Oh, I love that intro. And let's face it, this head is huge. It's ginormous. Head full of big face. That's all you need right there.
Kristen is with us. Kristen is here. Says, hey. Hello. So yeah, we got a lot of great content today to show you. We have a lot of great campaigns. I was going through all the campaigns. I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm going to showcase like some cards for each campaign so you can get a preview look at all the campaigns that are on the Wheel of Destiny. But there's still only going to be 3 chosen that we'll look at and review. Benjamin says, what did y'all dress up as last week? Well, I dressed up as a comic book creator.
I dressed up as a Colorado Ghostbuster. And there is photographic evidence. I don't know if I have it over here with me.
Yes, mine's not within arm's reach. It's in the other room. But
yeah, so it's mine, actually. Damn it.
But yes, we got a picture. I'll have to use it or post it soon. Maybe on the next show, we'll have a slide of that one. It'll be a good intro photo. But yeah, we got a green screen. We got our pictures in front of the Echo or Ecto.
Ecto.
I'll call it Echo. I'm off this morning, man. Just bear with me.
You are not all 4 cylinders yet.
It could be that I not slept well. I had like off and on sleep, and then I was dreaming about running around like a crowded city park that had all kinds of activity going on, trying to find my cats, Sam and Dean, and they're running around. And that dream seemed to last for a long time, but yes.
And now your cats are nowhere to be seen, which is odd in itself.
I know. They're not crawling all over me. Let's see. John Westhoff is with us, rocking on as usual. Welcome, John. Gerald is with us. It's Friday when I see you nerds getting into it. That's right. If you see our faces, it's Friday.
It's Friday, baby. Yeah. I have no idea where I was going with that.
So yeah, Kristen was there last week to see that there was evidence of our photo op in front of the green screen there. In fact, Kristen was also dressed up in Ghostbusters attire along with cosplay Genemee as well. So it's kind of a whole Ghostbusters theme going on.
It was. Yeah, in fact, Kristen had a steampunk-inspired Janine, which was very inventive, very cool to see. I always like to see like people coming up with stuff outside of the box. I mean, the franchises themselves are very rigid sometimes in their rules, and it has to be this, it has to be this. But when you get to see a fan who just wants to put something together, it's always refreshing. It's nice to see.
Well, yeah, it was a good weekend. Last weekend, I'm sure most all of you were out actively doing something for Free Comic Book Day last week, and it was a great day for me, for you. It was over there at Vault 35 Comics. It was very busy. We had special celebrity guests from the Orville, and the line was out the door. Again, I got pictures, but trying to get all that stuff together, put it on this show is been wearing at me with all of finals. This has been the finals of school, so didn't get pictures put up yet, but it was a really good event. So thank you to Vault 35 and to all the people who came out and supported us and everything. It was great. So, what was your big memory of the weekend, except for besides getting the photo with yours truly?
With you, yeah, that was the cherry on top of that nerd Sunday. So I mean, it was funny because Vault 35 had these great like deals, but every time I turned around, it was like they had just put something new out that I'm like, well, that wasn't there before. So it was like this revolving door of spending, and at the end, I think I dropped about 200, 250. By the end of the day, I was just like, son of a bitch.
Welcome to Free Comic Book Day, where you're going to spend more than you normally do.
Good God, that's like more than I spent on my whole slot. Okay, well, I mean, it goes to a good cause. It maintains a brick and mortar store, and I can't balk at that. And it's not like I'm up in the Springs all of the time. Again, I'll be there shooting pool tonight, but that is besides the point. I don't go to the Springs all that often, so take advantage of it while you can, right?
Yep. Yes, Chris says, but you get more than you normally do. That's true. Sure. What are you drinking over there? Looks like you got a cocktail going on.
I got no, it's just my protein drink, my little smoothie. Already hit the gym, and
right on.
My normal Friday morning routine, and my smoothie is a little late today, but it's okay.
Nice. All right, well, let's get to what we came here for. We want to look at some indie comics and break down some of those barriers to the indie comic success. So before we get to the wheel, let's see who is on the wheel. I've made a fancy little slide here.
Ooh.
We've got, yes. So these are taken directly from their campaigns. The first book up we have is Fumes, but I don't Mashai Dash. I don't remember how to say her name, but it's gonna be the first time it's ever been on this show, so I haven't seen it before. I'm looking forward to checking that one out if it gets on the wheel. Next up, we have Small Town Dark, which is another returning creator, Caleb Thusett, if I'm saying his name right. I look forward to seeing that one. Check this one out, Sapphire Spectre. These cover pictures are just really attention-getting and nice. We've seen this one before, Dime Store Detective. This is issue 5 from John Dexter. We've also got Poppa from, I forgot his name, Philip Russert. And this looks like a very personal story. So let's see what this one is all about. Breath of the Giant. As soon as I saw this one, I thought of Breath of the Wilds. But this is from Foursquare Graphics.
Iron Giant. Yes, look at that.
Somewhere in the middle there.
Yes. Fern Gully meets the Iron Giant. No.
There you go. We've got The Old Man and the Talking Dog. Look forward to seeing what that one's all about.
See that.
Then we've got, this one doesn't have a name on the slide, but this one's called Crit. He Would Be King. This is the 8th issue, I think, by Chris Soloff. And then we've got this one here called The American Dream, issue 6. Another one that's returning from Daniel Kalban. And lastly, but definitely not least, one of our probably most well-known names, Critter and Chloe from Tom Hutchinson, who's had 49 Kickstarters.
Repeat offender.
Yes. So lots of experience going in with that one. So we're going to see which one of these gets on the Wheel of Destiny right now. Let me go ahead and share that screen. And let's see who will be chosen first. Looks like, what's it going to be? Number 1 is the Sapphire Spectre. Congratulations. If you know who these creators are, be sure and tag them and let them know that we are currently live talking about their campaigns. Let's take Sapphire Spectre off of there and go to our next one. Who is going to be the second contestant on the Wheel of Destiny? Looks like Small Town Jar. Congratulations, Caleb. And last but not least, number 3. Looks like it's going to be Poppa from Philip Russett. All right. If these campaigns are still active next week, we will keep them on the wheel. If you have a campaign that is starting between now and then, be sure and submit it to the page on Action Line Studios, or even on my personal page at Matt Campbell Art. You can message me and we'll put it on the wheel.
Papa, I'm
all right.
coming home. Now
Papa,
I got that song.
I'm coming home.
Too fun.
All right. So let's see. First up, we got Sapphire. Let me take down some of these other tabs and speed up my my processor power here. So many tabs open.
More power.
More power. All right, there we go. So first up is going to be Sapphire. Let's go ahead and share that one right now. There we go. All right, here we go. The Sapphire Spectre Violet Void returns. The 8th issue of Sapphire Spectre, a supernatural superheroine.
Okay.
They have a $3,000 goal. They're currently at $3,820, so they've already hit goal. Congratulations on that, with 23 days to go.
Wow.
That's a good sign. That's a great sign.
Good sign. That's quite the following.
Yes. This is from James Malloy, or JT Malloy. Let's see what the video tells us.
Welcome back, Spectre fans. You know, we really need a name for that, JT. Team Sapphire, Specterites, Paranormal Pack, Saffy Tabbies. We can workshop it. Thought those were pretty good, but thanks to all who backed issue 7. Issue 8 is going to be killer. Because 8's my favorite number. Because when you turn it on its side, it looks like an infinity symbol. And that's like us. You're never getting rid of me. Never. Like, ever.
My arch nemesis is back. No, not Rachel Ziegler. I mean the Violet Void. It's bad enough this psycho killer has been stalking me, but she's dragging my friends and family into it now too.
Yeah, let's see how that goes for you, Vivi. Ever heard the phrase, "F around and find out"? Will I have a new love interest now, JT? If you touch him, I will smack you way past Wrigley Field this time, all the way to Comiskey.
Let's talk covers. Newcomers, returning faves like C.B. Zane, Gabriel Riarte, Nick Capone, and connecting cosplay covers. We're talking both Trina and December facing off Mortal Kombat style. Oh, so hot.
2 chicks at the same time, man. Wait a minute. JT, did you really just put an Office Space quote in the script? You just made our demographic jump like 20 years with that shit, dude.
As always, everyone gets a sketch card drawn by JT. Yes, everyone. And of course, all mailed in Geminis.
Okay, gotta go prepare for my fight with Violet Void now. Could I get like a Rambo style montage or something like that? Like, you know, strap me up with some like giant gun. No budget. I guess for now, I will just put my game face on. Yep, that'll do. See you later, Sappy Taffies. Thanks for...
I'm going to pause there. This is going on. All right. What was your takeaway of that video, sir? What did you learn about the show or about the campaign?
I think that this is a continuation of some big fight that one of the villains got knocked past Wrigley Field, and that they're zeroing in on her loved ones. That's really all I got. I got a lot of interesting returning covers and stuff like that. I like the banter. I like the projection of the characterization and all of that, but I don't know. I'm not the side conversations and all of that. I'm not sold on that. I'm not really. Again, I don't know if it's just too long. I don't know if it's just I haven't had enough coffee, but I'm just not feeling it. Maybe my patience just isn't where it needs to be right now. I think I would have skipped like half of that video, to be honest with you.
Benjamin says good energy and humor almost feels like a commercial. I did get the commercial vibe.
Yeah, very commercially kind of QVC kind of approach. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she's obviously doing something right. She's got all of the backers, but I don't know how many of those are return backers and how many are new backers. But she did address new people coming onto the campaign as far as books and sketch cards. And I do like that approach. I do like, hey, for the people that are new to here, here's what you get. But again, this is all that extra added fluff that I don't know if I really necessarily need. I don't know.
I get you. I'm with you on that. I think, from my opinion, I think that it's a 2.5 minute long video. I ended up stopping it before it finished. And a lot of that stuff would have been, interesting if I had like packed the beginning of it with the information that I really need to know and sort of, but like the who, what, and why didn't really kick in until like 30 seconds in after or more about like what's going on. And I think that having, maybe like another voice, even if they weren't on the screen, another voice that's just talking to her might have helped with that banter a little bit. Cause it was for me, it was kind of landing flat a little bit when it was like, hey, why did you do this? It was, and I would have rather just been like focusing on the tone and vibe of the comic. Cause right now I got a little bit of a glimpse of the comic in the trailer. I'm not really sure, like the actor who's portraying it is giving it a vibe of being kind of sexy and kind of a little bit humorous, but so I'm assuming that's what it's like. But I think that
the tone of the book. I mean, I don't know what the tone is supposed to be, because it's like Sailor Moon meets Doctor Strange. That's kind of the impression that I'm getting right now.
Sailor Moon meets Doctor Strange.
I don't know, and I think another person to play off of, even if it is a disembodied voice, is a great idea, just so that there's someone to play off of, because it is difficult to do a monologue and to deliver it where it's fun, but I mean, you're right. The jokes land a little flat. I don't get the humor, and maybe it just needs a little bit better setup, because you're right. If we knew more about the comic and then cut to the chirpy kind of interaction, and this is what you get, here's for the newcomers, and blah, blah, blah,
Mm-hmm.
that probably would have at least kept me a little bit more entertained. I mean, there is still a lot of information when we go back and forth between this is what happened. Oh, and here, and wait, you just did this to the script, and like,
In the end, the things that I liked that there is a person portraying the character and giving some personality and life to one of the characters of the book. I like that there's a person talking when the comic is being shown and telling me what is going on in this world so that I don't have to read text about what's going on. I liked that they, showed me some of the things that are coming, like the covers and the sketches and stuff. I feel like this is a bit more catered towards the returning customer, but in the end, I think I had some kind of half and half positive points, and the ones that weren't clicking with me. Jenny says it would have been cute if she pushed the comic information with her funny banter. I agree. Also, Gerald says, I learned from you guys not to forget new backers. It's important to acknowledge people just jumping on board. Yeah, in my experience from my own campaigns and from and I was going to say watching this show, but I guess I do watch the show. But watching these campaigns, it's my experience that, like, if people like your book, you have to do very little work to get them to jump on board. And so I feel like most of your effort and energy should be going towards the new people, because they can quickly scroll down, especially if you use, let me open it up here. You see over here on the left, we have that blank section again where it says risks, and then there's nothing there. If you've got returning customers and you've got a list over here that says, let's say, all the different covers or the bonus rewards, your returning customers can just jump right to that because they know all the rest of the stuff. They know the story. They know the creators. They just want to go, which one am I getting? And having that listed over on the left helps them do that. And so that means that everything else, the top part of the story, the video, that should mostly be dedicated towards those new backers. But I love this little. Go ahead.
So that's the hook. That's exactly it. Your future is not with your current fan base. It is the future fan base, and every comic book store will tell you you got it. You gotta hook them when they're young. You gotta hook them though. That's the key. You gotta get for longevity, for sustainability. You have to continue that flow of fresh people.
I love the no AI was used in this project. That's fun, and
yes, I like
making a stance. I like it.
Yes, I like the sense of humor. I like the quippy. I do like that. I just think it needs to be laid out a little bit better. The walkthrough probably would have been a little bit better, and a disembodied voice, or just some kind of something to interact with. That's all.
So the first little block here says no AI was used. The second one says printed locally in the Midwest. I love that too. Kind of, supporting made in the USA. The third block in here says go back up and watch the video.
The 3 steps of success. No AI. Printed in the US. And go back and let me talk about tits.
Check this out. I've never seen this done this way. This is interesting. This is the about section edited by Violet Void, the villain. And so it's interesting to see. It's a different approach. I always love seeing people trying different things. Question is it effective? Does it work? So I'm coming into this with the eyes of like, I don't know what this is. I don't have any idea. And I've gotten information up above that the Violet Void is the villain. They mentioned it in the video. And so it says, who's the Sapphire Spectre? There's a little side note that says an idiot with a stupid emo hair. And then they scratch out a bunch of stuff. So this first part is talking about who Sapphire Spectre is, but obviously it's crossed out by our villain here. And then it says, who's this comic for? It says, for people who want to see me win. So again, this is almost in the same like it's very much on track with the video, in that like we're focusing in on the funny banter and kind of like putting banter above information a little bit, right? I'm getting the idea that this is going to be a fun book. That's definitely grabbing my attention. And if I try hard enough to look through all the scratchiness and stuff, I could probably read a little bit about who's this comic for. It says it's got a bit of horror, a bit of humor, a bit of rock and roll, superheroine. It would be a harsh PG-13 or R rating. And so there is information in there. You just got to dig past some of the, the fun stuff that's sitting on top. But right here at the bottom section, it's a little bit hard to read. It says, what is this issue about? That's important. It says, the Violet Void is back with a vengeance. Sylvia Sloan and all her friends are being stalked by her worst enemy. Can she round them up and save them all before Violet Void can round them up and slaughter them? All right. So that's our who and why. Okay. And so that's an important piece. That's what's happening in this particular issue. I'm not getting anything, any indication that I need to read the other issues. It feels like I'm being told what's happening in this issue. So that's good. Another good thing. Check out these covers. Love that purple and blue. It really pops.
The purple pops. I do like the palette that she's using and she continues to run with, because I mean you can see it with like all of the pages, even with the video. She's maintaining that color palette, which really stands out, and I like her choices in colors for sure.
So, well, it's JT that is, I think, doing this. She's just the actress. Cover JT. This first cover is by JT. Then we got several other covers. Nick C.B. Zane. A lot of names we recognize. Some cosplay covers. All in all, we've got cover F, cover G, cover H, cover I, cover J. Oh my gosh, almost a whole alphabet of covers. So that's another conversation that we've had up and down. What do you guys think about, how many variant covers feels like too many variant covers? Is it like overwhelming when you see it over like a certain number, or do you love having all these options and you're all in with that? I'd love to know what you guys think. What do you think, sir?
In my experience, it gets a little ridiculous after 5. I mean, you can only have so many things to appeal to them, and not everyone's going to like the colors. Just keep their choices limited. Blank cover, a couple of variants, and keep them in low quantities. That is a lot of inventory. That is a lot of money that is unnecessarily spent by carrying all of those covers. And this is, I mean, maybe they've got a little extra cash to facilitate, a little extra fundage, but put that towards the next book. Save some of these covers for later. Just keep it simple, stupid. Just
okay. All right. Well, that's what Smurf thinks. I feel a little overwhelmed when I see like more than like 5 or 6. I start going losing track, because then I'm like, I like that one, but I also like that one, and I don't know which one I want to get. Gerald says this feels like a cool, fun idea, but hard for a newbie to the series like me to feel like I'm invested yet. The covers are great, and one of the first things I look for when seeing campaigns. So he likes the covers. Benjamin says, I don't really care about multiple covers. Just give me the basic one. So we got kind of both sides of the spectrum there. When it comes to the inventory thing, you're right. One thing that has made that a little bit easier, when I first started making, getting indie comics printed, a lot of the printers would have a minimum for every time you change the cover. And so if you got one person getting one cover, like you had 10 covers and only one person picked one, you'd still have to print a minimum run of those. And now a lot of printers have changed things up, and they're like, okay, you can, you have to do a minimum run of comics overall, but within that you can have like 5 of these and 10 of these and 12 of these, and it certainly helps for the indie creators to have more options. But not that long ago, it was, you had to do like 25, 50, 100 of each kind, and you end up, like you said, with a bunch of inventory. Benjamin also adds, at a certain number, it can feel like they're selling covers and not the comic. Yeah.
And that's very true of indie comics. I mean, you got ones that, the ones that have no substance and all covers, those are the ones you need to be aware of, because at the end, there's no story there, but you got a pretty cosplay.
Yep. I always like it when the interior artist does a cover, and I believe JT did more than one cover, but he also does the interior art. And so that way you kind of like get a feel for what you're getting right off the gate.
Yeah, I remember back in the day, Image was notorious for like these glorious, beautiful covers by artists that aren't even in the book. They come nowhere close to this title, and you're so disappointed. You're like, ugh, ain't no story. You just got kicked. It's just like, no thanks.
Matt Knowles, who's also printed a lot of books and has a lot of experience making comics, says nowadays there may not be a minimum run of the individual covers, but you can get charged a fee for every time you switch to a different cover. So a single issue might cost you $30 just in that extra fee. You're right. That's the truth right there. So again, going back to what Smurf was saying, this could end up getting expensive if you have a lot of covers, but not a lot of people backing those covers. So
in those situations,
risky.
And this would be a suggestion to me, is I would limit those extra covers to prints. Make those tier value investments. So if you hit, it's the package you would like, so you can make it a limited print instead of doing a cover or anything else. Prints may be a little less expensive than doing a whole run on the comic. So, I mean, you could go to Kinko and, print them off yourself on a better quality piece of paper and save yourself a few dollars and just do the prints. I know I'm a cheap nerd sometimes, okay? But at the end of the day, what's financially feasible for the creator and for the Kickstarter, and the fans still get something cool. Even make it a digital download so they can do it for their wallpaper or something along those lines. But just be clever. Just be clever. Be financially sound. We want you to.
All right, guys. Let's get to the covers. Once again, I want to give kudos to the graphic design of all this, keeping a consistent purple and blue theme. It looks beautiful. It reads well. Like I can easily read the wording on this graphic design. Matt, I agree with you here. I didn't want to say it, but Matt says minus 50 points for Smurf, suggesting to print comic cover at Kinko's.
I didn't say covers. I said prints.
He meant just prints, but even then,
just prints.
Like if they've got maybe some decent cardstock to do like a print, maybe. But all right.
Minus
so
50 points against Slytherin. Damn it.
I love it. Let's keep this point system going. I love it. Maybe we'll just keep a counter down at the bottom.
Ooh.
So we're gonna get to the rewards real quick, and before we move on to the next one. So over here on the right, we have some early bird rewards. The early bird book was only $15. The blank is $15. But here's something that kind of is messing with my brain a little bit. The issue 8 digital PDF is $20.
Oh, why?
But the comic itself is also $20, the physical copy.
Does
So
the PDF come with the previous issues?
says grab your copy of Sapphire Spectre issue 8 in this hot digital PDF. It includes all unlocked digital stretch goals. Does not come with a physical copy of the book. So you just get that one issue, $20. That seems a little steep. I think you're missing some of those lower end tiers. Like for me, I have like, kind of a range of like $10 or under because I'm backing stuff every single week. And so I'm kind of shooting and looking for that tier. If they got a comic that's a really good deal, it's a little above that, I might get that. But like, I'm kind of looking for that range, if none of their tiers are in that range, it makes me a little hesitant, but it's so like the right below it, it says Sapphire Spectre 8 cover A from JT Malloy, which is the one that I would probably get, is also $20. And
okay, it seems a bit high to me.
It does.
That's.
I was trying to see if it says it comes with 2 items, but I don't see what those items are. I'm wondering if it comes with the digital copy as well. So Benjamin says a $20 has to have at least 100 pages. That is something that we don't know, that I have not seen anywhere yet, is how many pages is this book? That's always good information to know. So that's interesting to me. All the other covers are also $20. So they're keeping consistent with that. But look at these, like, Sapphire Spectre cover E from Trina. It's got 2. Some of these only have like, 1 or 2. So it goes back to what we were saying a minute ago about like, how many of these are you going to have to print? So moving all the way down to the big ones here. These are all, some of those are early birds. We got, God, there's a lot of rewards here. All right. The big whale tier, the ultimate art pack is $400. It says, do you want all the art? Because if you grab this, you get 2 Sapphire Spectre sketch covers as a connected drawing and an 11x17 drawing. How do you display that? Like, put 2 books inside of a 11x17 frame?
Yeah, it's on its side.
Additional likeness drawing and 3 pages of original art from the comics, plus all the covers. Honestly, 3 pages of original art. The pricing on this is all over the place. 3 pages of original art, a digital likeness drawing, and essentially 2 sketch covers for $400 doesn't seem like enough. No. I would never sell 3 pages of original art for $400.
No, I mean, I can see the.
And this art is good. This art is good.
The sketch covers themselves are anywhere from $150 to $200 a cover. Yeah,
so that seems like a steal. No one's grabbed it yet, but it is. I feel like you can get a custom 11x17 sketch and all the covers for $275. So just the one 11x17 sketch is $275, but the ultimate art pack is $400. Like,
I feel like I jump on that 400. That is a
right.
That is an absolute deal.
Yes. So he's got a couple of other sketch cover packs on here. Some other deals around the 100, 150 range. So go check it out. What do you guys think about this? Did it intrigue you as a new viewer from the point of view of like not ever seeing it before? Does it have your attention? All right, so that's all we have for the Sapphire Spectre. We're going to move on to our next one.
Small Town Dark.
Small Town Dark. Again, let's go to our big screenshot here. There we go. Dun, 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 dun. All right. Let's see. Benjamin says no interiors. There were some interiors shown on the page. I might have scrolled past them while we were talking and didn't point it out, but I did scroll past them. So Gerald says, of the last one, price point, no, but interested in following. Yes. So the price point was a bit too high. All right. Now let's move on to Small Town Dark. I'm going to... Come on.
At negative 50 points to Smurf for mentioning.
Let's see. Small Town Dark. There we go.
Back in my day.
Back in my day. That's not the one I wanted to share.
It's a pretty slide. There you go.
I know it is, right? Let's see. We want... I don't know why it doesn't want to work today. Probably because I'm not on it. I miss having my my assistant here. Yeah. Super producer. Yeah, it's too many buttons to push and also try to focus on what I was talking about. Too ADHD for that. All right. Next one up is Small Town Dark, a 64-page occult horror one-shot. I love it. All wrapped up in one issue. 20 years after a mass suicide, a monster hunter reveals the sinister truth behind the cult leader that killed her father. The goal, just like last, we saw Dirk Manning campaign last week, had the same goal of $6,666. keeping it dark. I love it.
Dark.
But they're only about halfway to their goal at 3,447. So if you like horror, you like dark occult stuff, go check out this book. Let's see what the video tells us.
Hello, my name is Caleb Tucson. I'm the writer and creator of Small Town Dark. I'll spare you all the details below, but I will tell you that I am working together again with Marcelo Biat. We've brought you so many great projects so far. Nook, the World War II ghost story, Flytrap, the time travel story, and the Neverland. This is just another chapter in our great catalog of books, and I hope you can find something below that you will love about this project. If you love vampire stories, if you love monster hunter stories, if you like horror and mystery with depth and meaning, this is a book that you're going to want to pick up. This is more than just a horror story. This is something that I've been working on for the better part of a decade, and it's finally come together.
All right,
in this
I
series.
see Smurf waving his hand, so I'm going to stop.
Done.
I see Smurf over there, like throwing his hands up, shaking his head.
No. I mean, okay. For local people, they'll understand the Tom Shane reference, but put a little energy into it there, buddy. and I mean, I'm going to put this gently. Never bury the lead.
I hope so.
Put it gently. Don't bury the lead. Start with what this book is about. Everybody is maybe curious about your backstory, but get to the meat, get to the potatoes, get to what I don't spare me the stuff below. I want to know about the stuff below. Give me that. I don't want to know about what you did, what's gone on. Unless it's a tear, I don't know. I'm here because of dark, 62-page, glorious, evil horror. That's what I'm here for. not your cue card of past accomplishments. Don't bury the lead.
That's right. So, yeah, what did you guys think? For me, it was exactly what you just said. It was a bit like hard to get invested in because it didn't have a tone, it didn't have a vibe. I wasn't getting excited. It was just telling me about all the things that I've done, and if I like this stuff, I'll like this, but like, tell me why,
What's going on? Is it short stories? Is it one big huge story arc? There are so many things you can talk about, and again, this is gentle. Nobody cares about you.
This is gentle. Nobody cares about you.
Nobody cares about you. Give me what the story's about.
That's gonna be our new catchphrase. Nobody cares about you.
Nobody cares about you.
Come to the comic showdown to get moral support. Nobody cares about you.
I don't mean it the way it sounds, but I mean, come on, guys.
All right, so I'm going to slide through this a little bit and see if there's a photo of the cover.
Okay.
And lots of pictures of his room. And that's it. Okay, so the video's job is to get us excited and invested and give us information. And most of the information that we got before we cut it off was about some of the other things that were going on. Gerald has a tip that says if they're not good at making videos, just make a kick-ass banner. We've seen campaigns still be successful without a video. And if you have a hard time making a video, maybe that is the best route. Because, let's put ourselves in Caleb's shoes, right? You're sitting at home. You know you need to make a video. You only have your cell phone. And maybe you don't know anything about video editing. You don't have a video editing program. You don't have an experience with that. You don't know how to get sound effects and all that. So what do? Well, the first thing that you can do is, get photos of the actual artwork, hold that up. And then second thing, like Smurf said, if you're not excited, we're not going to be excited. So you have to crank up the level of enthusiasm. And even for those of us that are not what you would call,
exuberant,
comfortable being exuberant, being in front of the camera, you should be able to at least get excited about your book for a sentence. Guys, I'm really excited to tell you about this book. Check it out. And then start showing them pictures and leave it at that. That's really, all you need. And then they can go get the rest of the information.
Well, and even still, I'm sure he has some friends. I'm sure there's somebody that is probably a little more comfortable.
I'm sure Caleb has some friends too.
I'm sure he has some friends. Get one of them up
Even though you said no one cares.
No one cares, but no, we do care because I want you to be successful, Caleb. I want you to knock down the doors of hell itself and say, "Here's my fucking comic book, and you're gonna love this shit." Boom.
There you go.
I would totally be on board with that.
Yes. Gotta get excited. You gotta make us believe that you're excited and get us interested in it. Okay, so let's see if the information down below tells us anything else before we move on. Over here on the left, we can see he has taken advantage of the note so we can jump around to all the different levels. I love that. So it says...
It's a great use of the tools. Use the tools that are there for you. Be successful. Absolutely. Love that.
It says, on Halloween night, 1993, over 100 members of a satanic cult were mysteriously murdered in Marion Falls, Ohio. The event was reported as a mass suicide. 20 years later, a group of rich, thrill-seeking teenagers goes missing in the same town. Polly Singer, the one and only survivor of the Marion Falls Massacre, returns seeking answers about the missing teens, her father, and the night that has haunted her all her life. What will she find in Marion Falls? This is Small Town Dark.
Oh my God! That's your video. That is your video right there. That whole beautiful paragraph of juicy, story-laden visual. Yes, and it's visceral.
It's
and
juicy.
I love it. It's juicy.
It's juicy.
It's not a smash burger. It's this big, juicy, build your own. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, with some enthusiasm, Smurf level of enthusiasm, you read this into a microphone as many times as it takes to make it sound like you're enthusiastic over the top of some, panning images of your artwork. That would be a whole lot more exciting and investing, I think, than telling us about the other things. Because you can sit there and say all you want, like, this is a great story, and if you like good stories, I think you're going to really like this story. And I'm not gonna buy it, So I feel like, based on what you've described here, this is great. This is investing. And Benjamin also adds that paragraph wasn't unnecessarily long. It gets to the point, doesn't go into all of the, proper nouns. It says, like you said, there's missing folk, a lone survivor. What's going to happen? And again, I feel like Smurf hit it on the head. This will make a great video.
Yep. There's your video right there.
Okay, so then we've got some previews. Let's go to the 5-page preview just by hitting the little jump button over there. Love that.
Nice. Love that.
Yes, imagine this preview as an introduction to an episode of your favorite show, just like Supernatural, X-Files. Here it is. Here's some of the artwork. This is what people want to see. So again, recording what you said in the intro and then slowly scrolling over this artwork, particularly shots like this where you have action happening and horror and scary reactions. Those are going to go hand in hand with what you're telling us, right? Got some great looking artwork here. The facial expressions are showing a lot of fear and anxiety, and then we have this cool looking image. It's got some very the noir, what's his name, Magnolia vibes.
Oh, Mike Magnolia.
Yeah,
that is beautiful. Look at the hatch work on that, and I think as black and white, this is perfect. This sets the tone for the book. That's a lead right there. That is beautiful. That should be up higher.
A caped man on top of a phallic symbol. It's perfect.
Yes.
All right, let's jump to the rewards. What do we get? Over here, we have a $1 reward. Always don't get to see that too often. A lot of people are afraid to do that. Single cult follower, help us get more backers. Follow the campaign for $1. Gerald says, great synopsis, great art. That video should be replaced ASAP because I'd back this, no doubt. There you go, Caleb.
I agree.
All right, the digital edition of this. Don't forget, this is a 64-page complete story.
Yep.
So you don't even have to go looking for more. This digital edition is $7, and there's 39 people who've jumped on board with that tier. Then we've got variant covers for $15 to $20. Looking good.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a bundle that includes some of the other books that he's done.
Which is fine. I mean, that's
fine.
Yes, that makes perfect sense to me.
All right, this is a cool tier.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. What?
I was thinking because you should have already collected your money for those projects, and to be able to put them out there and to entice people to come back and purchase more or to get caught up. I think that's great. You don't have to talk about all of that. You have this right here. Use this slide. That's perfect.
I like this one. It says, become a follower, $125. Get your likeness in the book as a background character / cult follower. You also get the Small Town Dark 3 cover bundle and the digital edition. So 3 books, 3 different covers. The digital edition, and you get in the book. That's a pretty great deal for $125. Surprised there's only one person on it. Next one up is $225. Says get your name and in the book and your likeness in the book as a background character. You'll be listed as a producer on the title page and get the full bundle of Village Comics books. So same thing, except all his other books with it as well, and your name listed as producer. So those are some nice big level tiers. And we've got some nice low level tiers. We've got a $1, we got a $7. So all in all, Caleb, from my point of view, you got a great campaign here. You got a great pitch in your writing. The video, I would replace it if you could. Let me look at how many days you got left. I forgot. Oh, there's only 9 days to go.
Oh, I mean, still though, change it. Change the video. Do a nice big push to get over that hump. You're close, and a resurgence would maybe catch the eye of the people that had merely passed it by previously. You don't know.
Yeah.
And I would absolutely do something over the weekend and then just hit it hard the next couple of days, because you've got the right tiers, you've got the pricing on point, the artwork is dialed in. You should be higher than where you are.
I agree. This is some good looking stuff here. All right. So what do you guys think of Small Town Dark? Did it grab your attention? I know we already heard from Gerald on that one. So let's move on to our third and final one. This is Poppa. Poppa, can you hear me? Let's see.
My favorite steer show in Vegas. Poppa! Over at Treasure Island.
All right. Let's turn this one on right here. There we go. Poppa, chapter 1 of a 5 mini-series, 22-page comic books. Right out of the gate, we know what we're getting.
Boom, done.
It says in the description, again, 22-page comic book from the mind of Philip Russert about family struggle and sacrifice for those that you hold most dear. Okay. So probably could have eliminated the 22-page comic book from one of those two things, just to save some space and some clutter. But it's good. They have a goal of 2,000, and they've hit that goal. They're at 2675 with only 6 hours to go.
Ooh, so close.
So close. It is listed under projects we love. So let's see what this video tells us.
Meet Bruce Rogers, a 75-year-old Vietnam veteran who's spending his twilight years living with his son, daughter-in-law, and 12-year-old granddaughter, Melody. Bruce and his son have an estranged relationship that has never been resolved. Melody is the light of Bruce's life, as they've formed a bond that never grew between him and his son, Craig. When a threat to Bruce's family arises, this old man must decide what he's willing to do in order to keep his family safe. What would you do? What would you sacrifice for the sake of your family?
All right, I want to go back real fast there and see. Well, maybe it'll just tell us in the description. I felt like I was getting a lot of description about the characters, and but I missed. I think I looked away for a second, and I missed like what the conflict here is. Did you catch that?
Yeah, someone from his past comes back and is threatening his existence, his livelihood, his family. And
okay.
I think he did a great job of even putting in there, asking, what would you do what links would you go to protect your family? And I think that's a great hook. What would you do? Now I want to know what this guy is going to do. Because that was very, very eloquently put and delicately laid out. I really did like that.
Yeah, I was actually taking notes that right off the bat, I loved the professional voiceover work. Someone's telling me what's going on, along with the other thing I was making a note of is that I loved the panning of the art. So almost exactly what we were just saying in the last video. I'm being told what's going on, so I'm hearing it and listening, and while I'm looking, and not having to do two things at the same time. And so I was getting a lot of good information. I think while I was writing it down, though, I missed the main conflict part. But I think the only thing for me, I mean, this is a heavy story, obviously. But for me, like, everything was great. I loved the voiceover. I loved the arts. The tone was a little melancholy. Like, I was like, is this going to be like, you know, a sad book? I wasn't really quite sure, you know.
And I agree, and I think that's because the voice actor did such a brilliant job of bringing it down and just, you know, low and slow, as you're told when you're a voice actor. You want to have it hit, and I don't know if maybe it's too slow. And you're right, this is a heavy book, absolutely, because, you know, he loves his family, he holds everything dear. But I mean, there's a couple of questions of, like, why did this guy come back? Who is this guy? So I mean, there are some valid questions that I think at the end there's going to be a high body count.
So Gerald says, I think it was the music, not the premise. Yeah, that's what I was feeling like. Just the music felt like it was going to be really heavy. Let's see down below. We got this beautiful cover here. Really great looking artwork. It says, dedicated to my father who lost his greatest battle with stage 4 cancer. Yeah, that's heavy too. Sorry for your loss, Philip. So this was intended to be a 110-page graphic novel, telling a heartwarming tale of bravery, classic heroism, family, and the sacrifices that go unnoticed all too often. It's now going to be a 5-issue miniseries. So Bruce Rogers is a 75-year-old Vietnam veteran spending his twilight years living with his son. They have an estranged relationship that's never been resolved. Melody is the light of Bruce's life. They formed a bond that never grew. So there's a lot of deep, rich character development here. And here it is. When a threat to Bruce's family arises, this old man must decide what he's willing to do in order to keep his family safe. What would you do? So in a world full of villains, a man stands alone, willing to be the hero no matter the cost to himself. So am I getting this right, that in this story we're going to have a 75-year-old Vietnam veteran become a superhero standing alone against a world full of villains?
I was thinking more like Charlie Bronson, you know.
Yeah, I was thinking that, or like Clint Eastwood or something, you know, like, what was that that Get Off My Lawn movie?
With old men, or for no old men.
Well, no, it's like it was like it had the name of a car or something, like
I almost said El Dorado. But
yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
but yeah, it kind of reminded me of that, of like, you know, this grizzly tough old man who's like gonna go kick some ass. This the vibe that I'm getting. So this is a tribute to the toughest man I've ever known, my dad. He fought for the greatest adversary he ever faced, stage 4 cancer with multiple tumors. Hoped to have his entire story in his hands, hence the graphic novel format, but he passed away before that could happen. I hope you help me fund so I can produce this book, which honors my father. That's pretty awesome. I love that you're doing that for your father, Philip. We got some review section. Again, they're taking advantage of the stuff on the left. So let's jump to the chapter 2 cover. So am I missing something? Okay, so this campaign is for chapter 1 of 5 miniseries.
Right. But he's already got chapter 2 sketched out with the cover already?
Chapter 3, chapter 4, chapter 5.
Hey, cool. Okay.
I
like the proof of concept. I like that already laid out, like, because that's always the big question. Are they going to actually finish this project? If I back it, am I going to get invested in nothing? And to see that that's already laid out, that is a great touch. I like that.
Yep. Todd Rayner's here to save the day for my memory loss. That movie we were thinking of was Gran Torino.
Ah, so close with El Camino.
El Camino, Gran Torino. Hey, they go together.
Right there.
So here we've got to look at some of the interior artwork. Looking good here. Nice, clean looking art. And we got some flashbacks to Vietnam. And then we got chapter 2 artwork and chapter 3 artwork. So like, I feel like this whole thing is ready to go. It's just, I'm wondering if it's just going to be like one campaign after another individually. Yeah.
I don't expect that, because if he was going to do this in a whole graphic novel, of course it would make sense that to break it up into issues would be more beneficial to the story, to getting people on board, and I think that's a good approach, and it's good to see that it's done. I like that.
All right, over here on the reward section, it says issue 1 digital PDF is $6. I'm a little confused. Hold on. So it says available rewards. It says the Dynamics issue 1 digital PDF number is $6. Then the next one says Withered issue 1 PDF $6. And then, okay, so those must be just different books he has available. Kind of like on the last campaign, he had some extra books for another thing.
Right.
Threw me off for a second. I was like, are these the chapters? But now we're at Poppa chapter 1 PDF $7. And then we have another book again, Devils in the Details ebook. That's a different book. So there's a lot of like other books in the reward section, and I'm kind of having to like jump over the tops of them to get to the ones that are about this book. So maybe like for clarity's sake, those could just be add-ons.
Those should be an add-on. I wouldn't put them under their own tabs. Absolutely, that should be an add-on to additional backings and all of that. That should be an incentive.
I mean, you could definitely put a section like in the main content section in the middle that says these are the cool books that are available in the add-on section, so people know that they're there. But we've got.
You're making it complicated when it doesn't need to be, because someone who's not familiar with your work, again, fresh eyes coming in, looking at this going, well, I thought I was getting that book. Is this, and to Matt's point, is this the chapter that it's titled? It's too much. Oh, again, burying the lead. Focus on what story are you promoting? What is it that you're trying to get across? And then just have those as another tier or a further incentive. Yeah.
We've got a newsprint edition of the book for $12. Physical issue of the book is $15. Skipping over some of these other ones here. Carlos Ramos original art commission for $250. 11x17 inked single full body figure of choice with background for $250. And Philip is offering editorial services for your book. Backer of this tier will receive editorial services for your 22-page comic book, including full edit, sequential edits, and copy edits. Another commission by Ricardo Silva, and another commission by Kenny Calderon. So basically, he has, partnered with all of his artists to offer. They're all offering a commission, and the rate is $275 for most of these. I don't know the deal that he's made with them. Maybe they've offered that as a voluntary reward. Maybe they've offered him a lower rate. Who knows? But hopefully he is getting a little something out of it to raise money for his campaign. Because there's a bunch. There's like 4 or 5 different commissions by all the different artists, and they're all around $275. That's pretty cool. And then we have the early bird special, which is all gone. All right. So in the end, you've got a digital, you've got the physicals. Looks like there's only two versions, and then of the chapter 1 cover, there's only like 2 different covers. But then we've got all the artists from the other chapters that are offering custom commissions. So yeah, this looks like basically it sounds like the whole book is done. They're trying to raise money for each thing, and so they're throwing some other things in to try to help create that revenue. So hopefully that works for them. All right,
I think it's a great idea. I like the approach. I would just mix up a little bit more. I think 275. I still think that, I don't know. There seems like there's still something missing in those tiers where you're looking for investors. I don't know if it's just maybe other additional items, or maybe just reorganizing how you get the other digital books, maybe even a physical copy of those other titles. I don't know, but I don't know. I feel like there could be like a couple more tiers and one more big whale tier out there.
Yep. All right, guys, this is going to be a tough call. We've got our first issue, Sapphire Spectre, didn't really get to the meat and potatoes of what that story was about. They were mostly setting the tone with the banter, and then we had some strange pricing, $20 for a PDF, that kind of stuff. Then we had Small Town Dark, which ended up having a good premise, but the delivery on the video particularly was threw me off. I was like not really excited until I got down below. And then that sounds like something you might put on a t-shirt. I wasn't excited until I went down below. And then lastly, we've got Poppa, a really heavy book, but well put together. Lots of good information. So which one is it going to be? Let us know what you guys think while we make our choice. Have you made your choice already?
I have.
You have. All right.
While you were talking, I was busy. I was over here.
All right. I'm torn. So I'm currently trying to figure out. I feel like
the problem is, here's the problem. All three are very, very well crafted stories. Each one has its own specific genre, which I know, it also makes it difficult. Are there ones that I would just specifically pick off of the shelf? I don't know, just because based on the information that we got, I would like to think that maybe I would pick up hold on, where are my notes? Small Town Dark off the shelf. That one I can honestly see, and I would probably kind of flip through Sapphire Spectre, just because I do like the creative whimsy banter that was going on. I just think it was not properly placed. So, and then of course this one seems really heavy for us with Poppa. So I don't know. You're right. This is very difficult.
So I'm making my decision based on the delivery.
Okay.
Just based on what we're trying to do on this show, which one gave me the best information out of the gate. So I think I've made my choice. It was tough.
It's tough
because the one that I'm choosing was based on the delivery was probably not the one I would instinctively pick up off the shelf. So if that tells you anything, and if we don't choose the same one, then we'll go to the wheel if we have to.
Oh, the wheel.
The wheel. All right. Are you ready, sir?
Yep.
Is our audience ready? Yes.
Yes.
All right, here we go. Focus. All right, we chose the same thing. We don't have to go to the wheel. I think you were on the same track as I was. Like, I probably wouldn't pick this up off the shelf just because, like, I don't tend to pick up comics like that are heavy. But based on the pitch and, just getting the vibe, like telling the story, I was invested, and I was like, oh man, I really want to support this. And it was all pretty well put together.
Yeah,
It had
this was
the
most complete pitch.
most complete pitch. Yes. What did you guys think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Benjamin said he would have chose Small Town Dark. I definitely feel like if I was choosing one based on what my likes were, I probably would have gone with that one.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Right.
But again, that opening video, it's a very Melba toast. It's very dry. It's very
Melba toast.
Melba toast.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure and like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're watching on Facebook, be sure and follow the Action Line Studios page and share this video out so other creators can learn from this show and how to improve their campaigns, because that's our goal here. You can get my comics, Mythica, at actionlinestudios.com, as well as shirts, t-shirts like this, hoodies, all kinds of other cool stuff. And you can get some cool swag from Smurf over there. Where can they get all your cool stuff?
You can go to 5280geek.com. We do have a little shop set up. You can buy this spectacular t-shirt. If it's not available, send me a direct message with your email, and I'll be more than happy to get you an invoice and send one off with an autographed picture of me to my number one.
I love it. I love it.
In the other time, though, there is the Weekend Geek Update on all major podcasting platforms, which kind of covers what's going on in the world of geek, from movies, shows, comics, toys, everything. There's a lot of stuff going on right now. Andor just, oh my God, the episode that just landed was awesome. So
of what?
Andor from Star Wars.
Andor. Oh man, I haven't got to see any of that yet because it hasn't been uploaded to my Plex. Wayne, if you're listening,
Wayne, get that on. And then, of course, Last of Us. Last of Us is following the story of the second video game very closely, and there's some heart-wrenching moments in front of us, and it's intense.
Yeah. There's only 2 episodes that on my Plex, and I haven't. I know I'm going to be invested, and then want to see the others, so I'm just waiting till they're all on there.
Yep.
All right. Also, I want to give another comment about, if you like this show and you want us to help keep making it, 2 things. Number 1, you can support it at patreon.com/Action Line Studios. There's a tier just for this show where I upload the video directly to the email, so you don't have to go looking for it on social media. It just appears in your email. I also share the digital comics that I back and talk about the pointers and the tips. I put graphics up there about tips that you can learn from, all in that tier. Also, if you know someone who has a online presence that might be willing to sponsor this show, be sure and send them our way, because we are looking to sponsor the show so we can keep it going. So Todd says, another great show. Thank you. Gerald says, great show as usual. All right. On that note.
And on that bombshell, we will see you next week. But in the meantime, run fast, laugh hard, and always be kind. Good night.